Hi, I hope I'm live. It just came up and said something wrong with my broadband, but looks like it's fixed itself. Uh, so, good afternoon. It's Vanessa here, ready to show you another fantastic project from Stampin' Up. Hopefully that's working. I just had something else pop up. I might just check my computer. Always the way with tech, you never quite know if it's going to work or not. Refreshing my page to see if it's coming up. I don't know. No, I've got nobody watching either. How strange. What is going on? I know there's a delay, but I would have thought it would be there by now. Oh, yes, here I am. Okay. Right. Sorry about that, folks. Just weird things happening on my screen. Goodness me. Okay, so there was a couple of things I just wanted to mention. Stampin' Up! Have had a product release this week. So if you head to the website and go on the menu, look at what's new and then new arrivals, there's some new online products there. And I'm using one of them today, so I'll point that out when we get to it. Yeah, so, oh, great, thanks, Mum. Mum's here. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera, if I can find the button. Here we go. Okay. Rightio. So today I'm using a sketch as my starting point. So this, I came across this one online and saw a couple of cards that a couple of demos have made. It's from Stampin Fancy Friday, and I think they do a challenge every week. I had a look back and some of them were colour challenges and maybe using this type of product, that sort of thing. But this one is a sketch, and I really like the sketch. I thought, initially I thought it was that one where you can stack your paper together and cut on the angles and then make, because you want three different patterns, you could make three cards. But then I noticed this line here and I thought, oh, so normally with that one, your angle here would come down to a point on this side. But this one's got the straight bit. So I'll show you how I figured out how to make it work. So that's my starting point. And I wanted to use, I bought the Winter Meadow paper DSP pack a while ago, and I haven't used it yet. I'll just show you. It's really pretty paper. It's got sort of pomegranates on one side there. This is the beautiful one I'm using today with blue on the back. One with Christmas trees or trees. And these backgrounds are fantastic. And then you've got the ones, you can cut that up and make 6 card fronts out of that very easily. And the back of that one is sort of like icicles. And then there's one with deer or stags on it. Very cool, very moody. And there must be one other one. Yeah. This one with more snowy trees and a very neutral background. So yeah, I really liked the paper, and I have had it for a few weeks and haven't done anything with it. So I thought this looked like the ideal opportunity. Okay, so what I've got is a card base in Lost Lagoon, and then I've got 3 pieces of the paper that I just showed you. And I got a tip from one of the demos who had made this card that she layered the paper. So I thought, yes, because I just couldn't figure out how to get those cuts right. So the first layer is this more sort of watercolory looking paper. So I'm going to put that down, and I'm putting it on a layer of basic white. So I've got a nice little white border around it. Okay, then I've cut a piece with the trees on it, and this is the width of the first piece, but it's 6 centimetres high, so that's about, what's that in inches, 2.5 or something, 2.25, almost 2.5. So I thought I could get away with a smaller piece there, so I'll just pop that on. And that's just going to layer on the bottom of that first piece. And you could, if you wanted to save paper, you could cut that first one so that these two butt up together. You wanted to. Now I've gone and got a little bit of glue there. Let's get that off. Gosh, it's a warm day. I was just thinking before I came on I should put the air conditioning on. I've opened the door instead. Have natural, a la natural. Okay, so the next part is the trickier bit. This is to get the angled one. So I've cut, which way do I want it? Probably that way. It's not really directional, but more of the leaves are going up, I think, in that direction. And then I want it sort of off the page there, coming to a point down here, and then coming off. So it's a really strange sort of angle to have to cut. Now, this bit here, I could position it so it was directly like that, but I'm not worried if it comes down on more of an angle here, because my focal point is going to cover that that join. So I think I'll do it, checking what I've got under there, I think I'll do it about there. So then I just turned it over and I just drew with a pencil. I feel like a cheat, but that was just the easiest way I could figure out. And I cut that on my trimmer. Okay, so I've got so I'm just lining the pencil line up with the middle of the cutting area. And I'm just having to guess a little bit that point there, but it's one of those things that's not exact, so it doesn't really matter if it's and then you can use that piece for another one. Oh, I did just want to check. I think I did just want to check the height of that for the instructions before that was 12 and that was 9, right, 9 by 12. I better write that down, 9 by 12. This was all a bit on the fly today. I had a different idea of what I was going to do, and then I discovered that somebody else, another sort of close to me demonstrator, had already done that this week. So I was like, oh no, I better do something else. I don't know if everybody watches everybody, but I felt like I needed to do something different. Okay, so that's my piece now that's going to overlay and give me my angles. So I'm just going to attach that. Okay, now the sketch had a circle to go in this region here, so I'm positioning it so it's just covering that point of my paper there, and I'm going to put that on flat. I've cut this out with the Stylish Shapes dies from Basic White, and I want to show that line because that was the whole purpose of doing this special layout, was to see that line, and then people go, how did she do that? Which is what I did when I saw it. Okay, now for the decoration, I've got a die cut. Now this has been die cut from the Golden Greenery dies, and it's in the Graceful Greenery vellum. So this is, oh no it's not, sorry, it's in this other vellum, Gold Mercury vellum. So this is a different one. This is, yeah, the Graceful Greenery is the white, which I was considering using. I did have that one cut out in the white. That's from Graceful Greenery. But I thought the gold for Christmas was what I felt like using today. And there's a bit of gold in the leaves that I'm using as well. So that all ties in. Yes, so the vellum is the Mercury one. So I've cut that out, and I wanted to put it on dimensionals. So I'm just going to put a few. Can actually use half ones too. I'm using the small ones here and just cutting them in half, and then they can just go behind these little leaves. Okay, put a couple more. I need one up here maybe. Yeah, so if anybody has any ideas about what they'd like me to craft with on a Thursday, do let me know, because I like today I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I didn't have a plan, and then you kind of get in a fluster. So very open to people's suggestions of things you'd like me to craft with. So now I'm putting some small dimensionals on the back of these little leaves, and these little sprigs were cut from, definitely from the Graceful Greenery vellum. So I've just put, actually I might move that one down a bit, I can spread them out. Down there. I'm just creating a little seam here on the top of the circle. And these things can overlap, because I've got one that's going to sort of come across the top at the end and just tie it all in. So now this next one's going to go up here. I'm just seeing where I don't want to put a dimensional, here on this one, because it's going to interfere with that. So I want to go here. And then on these other bits. The other thing that was funny is when I was cutting out these, I was using the die, and with the vellum, it's hard to tell which is the right side. And I was fluffing around and trying to get it to cut, and I couldn't get it to line up. And I was like, what is wrong with this? What is happening? And I had the vellum over the wrong way. So it's a little trick for you to watch out for. Now this one's going to go over the top over all of that. So again, I'm going to just put the dimensionals sort of in here. I could do a half one. It's just my way of putting them so that I don't get too many layers, and they can get uneven. And then I could just I might actually put a little bit of glue dot under there, and then a dot up on top, just to hold this on. Now I've got to watch that I don't see the dimensionals. There we go. Okay, so that one was cut from the DSP. And you can see it's got that beautiful gold detail through it. And that brings us to the new product, which is the gold twisted thread. And Stampin' Up! Had a very similar, it might be the same, might be very similar to this a few years ago. And oh my goodness, I had one roll left and I have been eking it out and only using it on very special things because, oh my goodness, it's so amazing. It's really soft. It will just, it's not like the gold cord, which is quite stiff when you are using it. This one is very soft and it just glitters. It's beautiful. And you can fray it as well. So I'm just making a sort of a bow, my fingers here, and I'm going to stick that on with a dimensional, with a glue dot rather. I'll just take that to the glue dot and then just squeeze it, pull it off. And then that's just going to go on top of my leaves, sort of going up and down, because across that I'm going to do some words. So I'll just put that to one side. I've got Merry Christmas, and this is from, which one is it from? Greetings of the Season. I've been using this a lot, and I really like the mix of fonts, how you've got, you know, the italics and sort of the handwritten and the printed. And there's some lovely sayings in here as well. And there's also dies that go with that. So I've got my Merry and my Christmas on my block here. I've cut my piece to size already. I'll just use Bossing Buddy and scooch up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, what have I done with the powder? Oh, there it is. Take the lid off. Excuse me. Okay. I'll just stamp that in the middle. And then pop the powder on. The only thing with a small piece is it's harder to handle and get that sort of loose powder off, but not too bad. And then I always have a paintbrush handy just to get those little bits there. I must have got the edge of the stamp. I must have just got that edge when I stamped it, so that's why I had those extra bits. Okay, I'll put that aside. I won't heat it now. I've got one I did earlier. I don't like the sound of that on the video. So, actually, where is the one I did earlier? Oh, no, I don't have one I did earlier. Okay, I will have to heat this one. Okay, so I always clip, oh, that's in the car. Okay, I clip it to a clipboard so that I don't burn my fingers. The only thing you do have to watch is that this clip here gets quite warm, so you have to watch when you're taking it off. So I'll just quickly heat this. Okay, short and sweet, little Merry Christmas. Okay, now that's going to go over the top and across the middle of the bow. And I'm using dimensionals. So I can have a whole one where I've got the Merry. And I'll just see where that's going to end up. Yep, that'll be fine. Put one at the other end. Probably fit 2 there and 2 on this side, I think, just to make sure it's nicely held. That about there, and I like that that lines up with that line, sort of visually that appeals to me. Okay, where are we at? Oh yes, so then I adhered it to the card base, and I decided to use dimensionals for that. Oh, I've got little bits. I don't know, backings are everywhere, sticking to my card. It's staticky, it must be the heat. It's quite humid today. I like to put a few dimensionals on. I don't like it. It gets squashed down, either while you're storing it before you use it or in the post, then it can sort of get a curve, a kink in it. So I like to make sure it's well dimensionaled. Try and avoid that happening. Don't know if you saw my post yesterday. I booked my place at our convention, which is happening in March in Brisbane. Already had the flights and accommodation, so the tickets went on sale yesterday. Okay, so that's our card front. And so do you see what I mean by a Kiwi Christmas, a summer Christmas? So I've used the sort of the sprigs of the pine and just kept it sort of light and green and gold. Then on the inside, I'm just going to put another piece, a little strip of the DSP. I bought the DSP for this, but I didn't buy the stamp set, so I had nothing really to coordinate in that regard. I could put another leaf from the Graceful Greenery or the Golden Greenery, but I thought another little strip of this just to reinforce that sort of summer look. I think this, even though it's called Winter Meadow, I think these ones in particular can still work for summer. Okay, got some glue down the side. Yeah, so I hope you check out the new products that have just been launched. There's a couple of new kits and there's some new sweets that have just been launched this week. Very exciting. And that's my card for today. So I hope you enjoyed it's a very short one today with the sketch. I'll bring the sketch back in. So just to show you sort of how you can interpret a sketch. So I didn't do that flagged end, and mine isn't coming out from under my circle. They didn't draw it over, but you can just interpret it however you like and use, products that you think work together. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with how that turned out. And for those of you on my mailing list, I'll be sending out the tutorial tomorrow. And if you're not on my mailing list, then you should be, because you get the tutorial sent to you the following day. Otherwise, it does get posted to my blog, but further down the track in about a week's time. So either way, I hope you enjoy the tutorial. And if you need any help with your Stampin' Up orders, I have had one person sort of say to me recently that they had trouble going into the store and finding what they were looking for. So if you do have any problems with finding what you are looking for and navigating the Stampin' Up website, then please let me know. I am generally around on mobile. You can text me, email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and offer some help and get you underway with looking at things or ordering things. So yeah, just reach out to me if ever you need to. And I'll see you again next week. Thanks.